Hello, everybody. We are live. It is Thursday evening. It is 8 p.m. on the East Coast, and that means it is time for... Oh, I took the banner off. Hold, please. It is time for the Small Business Spotlight, your favorite Thursday night online show hosted by a homosexual man in Chicago talking about gay-owned or allied owned and supporting businesses. I made that niche myself because now I'm pretty sure I am your favorite one in that category. So a huge hello and welcome to those coming back and who have just given positive comments and have enjoyed the interviews and these little discussions that I've been having with some of my friends, some new friends, some friends that I've known for quite some time. But we're doing lots of fun stuff. So I am super excited. The person that I am having join me today is well known throughout the Florida and area and beyond, partially because she's a whore. See her down there. Mm-hmm. No, but one of my dearest friends, and has been a huge supporter of everything that I've done, Bears in the City wise, and has done huge things for the bearded drag community, and is the I know you girl. I'm talking about you down there. You should see her. She's clutching her pearls, waiting to come on while she's in the green room. She's done great things for the bearded drag queen community. Is the National Miss Bearded Empress Emeritus Pensée, and is doing, and I got it right. Yeah, see, yeah. I've been practicing all day, and is just a fantastic person. But that is not what we're going to talk about. We're not here to talk drag. I'm sure we will at some point in time because that's what happens. Because with this show really doesn't have a format. The show is just to highlight people who do amazing things and build a business from it. So that way you can go out and support them if you don't support them already. But we are going to be talking to a very good friend of mine who is a salon owner and is getting back into the world of hairdressing in a COVID-19 world. Has done a lot of training. I will say this, and I'm just going to put this out there to all of you watching, especially those of you in Florida. A lot of places like to say, oh, we're in a post-COVID-19 world, which makes people feel like, oh, pandemic's over, everything is great. No, ma'am. Make sure you got those masks on. Make sure that you are doing your part to slow the spread, because obviously right this second, we're not going to stop it. It's not going to technically stop until we have a vaccine or a way to finally eradicate the virus. But you can do your part to make sure that you slow the spread. Stay home as much as possible. Those of you that work in the public, Godspeed. You guys are doing a great job. I'm sorry that you have to go back so quickly and that our government isn't supporting the people the way that it should. I'll get on my little soapbox for a second for that. But this person has been taking classes and making sure that they're ready to reopen and have reopened. And I know have been doing lots of great things. And from the Anthony Lewis Salon in Leesburg, it is my privilege and my honor to bring to the show, this is Anthony Chiocchi.
Hello.
Hey, Anthony.
How are you?
Yes, I love it. I'm doing fabulous. I love the mask. I love a good black and white check.
Well, being a colorist, I have to make sure I color coordinate with the beard.
I'm mad about it.
People are like, I didn't even know you were wearing a mask.
Anything to get you to shut up for a little while, I'm in favor of.
Listen, shut your face. But no, seriously, here's the thing, with these on, it is extremely hot. It is I'm not gonna lie. It is hot, especially when you're in a salon. You're blow drying hair. You've got that heat going. Your client's wanting to talk to you. You're talking to the client. Literally, it's like I should be. All the quarantine weight that I gained should be gone because I'm sweating it out. But it's not happening because then I go home and I just continue to eat.
Girl, I do not blame you. Trust me. I was talking to somebody last night on the phone. I actually had a phone call conversation last night. It was so weird. It felt so 2002. But
Hey.
I mean, honestly, I really just wanted to take it back to like the mid 90s and like just lay on my stomach with my legs up and twirling the cord with my lips phone and just be like, hey.
Right. Oh my God, did you see that episode too? Yes. Oh my God.
Right.
A couple people in here that are saying, hey, Joe Troller. Hey, Lou Beater. How are you? How are you and Terry doing? But
I love the fact that
I just took over your show. I'm like, hey girl, hey.
Oh no. I love it. Last week Slade was my guest. He's the owner of wolfbound.com. And he was doing the same thing. A lot of times people are either like that have come on. I say that like I've had 40,000 people on the show already, but a lot of times people will have will be broadcasting from their phone or from a tablet, and they don't have this whole like the comments and everything up. And I was literally going to say, I'm like, I love the fact that you know StreamYard, you see the comments and that you're chiming in. Please, by all means, say hello, because I never want to interrupt a story. And I never want to interrupt somebody when they're because once you get on a roll.
I want to interrupt you. No, I'm just kidding.
So anytime you see something that you want to point out, you want to shout out, by all means, go ahead. And if it's something that that people should see, I can always pop the comment on, just like this, where Joe's talking about the best stylist. Now she's on. So.
I'm going to brag about his hair really quick. So I did his hair for the first time. I think it was like 3 weeks ago. And like, he showed me pictures. I'm like, I like sat on my chair. I was like, okay, with your complexion, this is what you need. This is like the hues that you can go with. I was like, this is the shape of hair you should go with, blah, 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 blah. You know, everything that a hairstylist should be doing with their client, especially right now, coming with Florida opened. Basically, it's open wide up, apparently to our numbers. our nice 11,000 new case spike in 2 days. Apparently, we're running like the Grand Prix. Just
normally, it's just your legs that are open that wide. Now it's the state of Florida.
Pick a hole.
Honestly, I'm going to say this: like, I've wanted to do these and like really have that like interview style of like, I'm gonna be professional and I'm just like, we're gonna have a serious chat, and then I get you on the show and I'm like, bitch, you legs open wider than the state of Florida.
Let's just be real and spill some tea here. Let's just spill all of the teas.
We have known each other long enough at this point, I think, that it works.
Like literally, we don't even have to use Lipton. We use the stuff from the dollar store and it still tastes the same. So, but like I did his hair, and we did a nice, blended fade with like a nice pompadour highlight. And he sent me a message. It was either that night or the next day from the picture that he had posted and tagged me with like all these comments. And they're like, that was the best your hair's ever looked. Oh my God. And he's like, I love my hair, blah, 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 blah. And I was just like, yay. And he's like, this is what I've wanted without knowing that I wanted it. And that's especially coming out of quarantine right now and the shutdown and everything. Stylists out there have the ability to reinvent their client, but also reinvent themselves, because we get stuck in a niche where it's every day doing the same thing over and over. The client doesn't want to budge. They just want to keep doing and doing and because this is what they like. Well, when Karen comes in with her roots down to here, okay, you could be like, Karen, I'm going to turn you into Julia. And then she comes in with that arrogant attitude, but then leaves fabulous. So, I always try to find a silver lining.
Yep.
I always try to find a silver lining. And I've been in this industry for 19 years. I've traveled all over the country teaching for 3 artistic companies. I'm a colorist. I, sit there and I will not remember your name to save my life, but I will know your face. And I'll be like, I can pinpoint exactly where I saw you or whatever. And so saying that, that I've traveled all over the country and I've taught, like my eye, like almost like a dentist, or somebody that's in the dental industry, that immediately goes to the mouth. Mine immediately goes to your hair. And I immediately start diagnosing everything. It's like the Matrix. It's like, and then it just, so with that being said, right now is the time for everybody to find that silver lining of going, okay, I've had to sit back and sit down for a couple months, but you want to know what? Let me change how I feel about myself and how I look. Because I was doing the same before, but today is not the same as it was last year. It's a new day, a new dawn, honey, so let's give you a new look.
I was about to start singing, and it just, get a little Michael Bublé in there for us.
Hello.
Which I will say, knowing this about you, I spent roughly an hour this morning making myself pretty for this interview. I actually made sure I shaved the sides of my head so it's nice and a clean shave. I put product in my hair. I trimmed my beard. I even put a lovely spiced vanilla and bourbon beard oil in my beard. I know we haven't invented smell-o-vision for the internet yet, but I figured just in case the technology became available in the middle of this interview, I could just waft it towards you. But I figured you would appreciate that.
Girl, here's a marketing tip. For you. From future on, whatever brand you're using, contact them, tell them that you need scratch and sniff cards, and you're going to send it to whoever you're having on of whatever cologne you're wearing, beard, or product. So then you can be like, now sniff it.
I love it.
And then you can be like, do you want to smell what my undercarriage smells like?
If you sniff this side, it smells like spiced vanilla and bourbon. Turn it over, it smells like my taint.
It smells like Chicago.
Oddly enough, even though we're about to head into phase 4, which I still don't go out. That I go for walks around the block 4 times a day with Havoc. That's roughly the most. I went out to there was a drag march for change, Black Lives Matter protest.
Oh yes.
Went down there, took pictures, loved it, loved being a part of the movement and continuing to be a part of the movement. But for the most part, I don't go out. And I will just say this: when you talk about Florida just being wide open, your phase 2 has bars opening with 50% inside capacity. We're going to phase 4. We're only getting to bars being able to have inside capacity and at 25%. That's the difference.
And that's the difference of how come Florida is now banned from traveling to New York, New Jersey, etc.
Pretty much so.
Robbie Haynes says, "Hey, Pat."
Hi, Robbie.
I don't know him. He looks cute. I need to go stalk his profile really quick.
If you saw a couple of years ago, he was my Santa on my A Very Berry Christmas ad.
Yes.
In the bear skin and the blue snowflake underwear.
Yep.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I know who he is.
She's pretty. Her head's going to get a little swollen right now, but it's true.
We have to give it to the people that need it and deserve it and all that other good stuff. But
I give credit where credit's due.
But like you were saying, like with our phases and stuff like that, a perfect example is like Joe Troller. He's a massage therapist, and they're just now going back to work, and they have such strict restrictions as well because they are, they're like on top of people basically. Some massage therapists are on top of people, but you know what I mean. But
hopefully not just yet. I'm hoping those massage therapists dial it back a little bit.
Girl, can I listen? If we're gonna have to do a whole other show about the TVC on the social media platforms, we won't talk about people's names, but we're just gonna read shit out because I could tell you shit that I have found out. I'm like screenshot, and I'm gonna be like, what? I'm like, what is this?
Oh, I love it.
Oh, Annie Berets. It's a bear family. Hello, MX Smoky Bear here, sending lots of love. Hello, Andy. Another bearded entertainer and also stylist.
Yes.
I think, Andy, are you in Kansas, Kentucky, Louisville, somewhere?
Some state with a K.
Some state, somewhere, Midwest.
One of those 50 states.
Yeah, one of the 50. You know, going back to like the beauty industry, you have nail techs, massage therapists, you have hairstylists, you have estheticians, you have permanent makeup, all of that. And what I don't think people realize is that our license is
Texas.
San Antonio. I was far away. Far
You were
away.
so close to getting it. So close.
It was the drive there. But our licensure is so mandated, and we are actually the only other license besides the medical professionals to touch people.
Wow.
So let that sink in for a minute. Like, seriously, we're the only other licensed industry to actually touch a person besides the medical industry. So we are held at an extremely high standard. We don't use just your mom and pop normal, Comet and a little bit of scrub. We have, Barbicide, which is it's the number one product in our industry for sanitization and disinfecting. And they just did, I haven't hung it up yet, but I actually have my certificate sitting over there that I have to hang up, that they are offering it free to stylists to go online to their website to actually get certified and it's even like in the packaging still, in their certification of sanitization, COVID-19 and barbicide certification. Okay. And that goes through and it tells us, how long implements have to stay within the disinfectant solutions. It goes and then it also goes into if you're noticing somebody has a cold, if you're noticing somebody has a sniffle or whatever, how the virus and also other infections are transmittable. And we literally have the ability in our industry to kill somebody like that. And nobody even realizes that. You can literally hit a point over here, it's called the jugular. And if you go in there and you massage that, you can instantly give somebody a stroke. Mm-hmm. And when, especially a hairdresser, we're shampooing at the bowl, we have to make sure that we don't hit those spots. As a massage therapist, estheticians, same thing. So when I was shut down, it really took a weight on me. It was 3 weeks that I got literally on my couch and was in this huge depression. And I sat there, I was just like, what am I going to do? Not like, oh my God, financially. Yes, that was a concern. But, I do have a savings. I didn't want to go into it, but I do have a savings, a small one, but it's a little safety net. But it was just, what am I going to do with my life? Because this is all I've known for 19 years. This is all I've known. And my daily routine of going to my clients and being with my clients is my social hour. And it's their social hour, and there's a connection. I know birthdays, I know deaths, I know births, I know who's pregnant, who's cheated on who's, I know it all.
Because honestly, stylists are probably second only to or in line with bartenders as far as being the people that most people feel comfortable to just talk to. Exactly. Without alcohol.
Annie says, San Antonio, Texas. Yes, I did that before I started back up in the shop. Bravo. Thank you for doing that, Annie. Bravo to you. Yes. See, and it's people like Andy, people like myself. I know a couple of other stylists, Krista Johnson out in Denver, Colorado, that did it. I actually know I know a student a student that is starting up, Anthony Kelly, is starting up in the middle of July and already went on to their website and got certified in it. Because he's like, I want to be proactive. I want to make sure, you know. And I don't think that people realize that our industry is so particular about exactly what we do and how we do it and where we do it and who we do it on, that they were just like, close up, close them up, close them up. I was wearing a mask before we even closed up because I was just like, bitches. I know exactly who you nasty hoes are. I'm going to be on that. I'll put her on. And like, literally, I sent out this huge email right when I started back up. And it was like, you will be asked these questions when you come to the salon. You are not cut. I'm in a private suite. So I have 120 square feet all to myself, my own door. They walk down a hallway. They come to my door. There's 16 units. All stylists, hairdresser, or nail techs, massage therapists, estheticians. And I put in there, when you open up that front door, you will have a mask on. You will walk to my door. You will knock on my door. I will let you in. When you come in, you will have your mask on. I will have my mask on. When you leave, you will have your mask on and you will leave out there. If you are sick, if you have allergies, if you have a cold, I don't care what it is. If you are not in top notch, you are not sitting in my chair. If you feel any type of ailment, you will reschedule for 14 days to 15 days out. And I was like, this is to protect you and me. And this is to protect the spread from spreading further. This is to make it to where you still have a salon to come to and a stylist to come to, so I don't drop dead from not being able to have to breathe, you know. And I make sure almost in the beginning it was every week. Now it's every other week that I contact my clients and let them know exactly how I am keeping the salon salon environment improved for their safety. Perfect example. I just purchased an air purifier that I researched online to make sure that it actually caught smoke molecules that are the same size as virus molecules that have an antibacterial filter in them, so that while people are in here, it is running constantly to make sure that the air in the salon is clean for them to breathe.
That's phenomenal.
It's extra steps like that which is going to stop. Did I want to spend the extra $550 to put this filter in here? Absolutely not. But if that means that I'm going to have years to come and my clients are going to be here years to come, but that's what I'll do.
Absolutely. You know? It becomes an investment in everybody's safety and an investment in your business.
It's a tax write-off, but it is the safety. To
Absolutely.
me, why is this not showing up on my feed? Damn, girl, Facebook has been blocking me from doing so many things.
I saw that you were trying to call somebody a hoe, and it said, ma'am.
Eleanor Diamond.
It said, ma'am, we know she's a hoe, but we don't want you to type it.
They don't want you. They're like it's not. Did you tag? I know you tagged me.
I did.
Oh well.
Yes, and I know one of your biggest cheerleaders out there, Michelle Bone Woods, saying that you're super vigilant, and that's what makes you a great business owner. You're thoughtful, and you put safety first.
Thank you, Michelle. I love Michelle. She is the owner of Natural Bearded Empress. And she is also one of the largest voices out there that I know that is always fighting for the underdog and is always making sure that people are, you know, being safe and things like that. You know, I understand that we all want to get out there, that we all, trust me, I miss the and a fan clack and a good cocktail. I miss it.
I know. Did you ever think in our lives, with how prevalent fans have become in like the general gay population, that you would miss the sound of clacking fans?
100%.
Because I never thought that day would happen, and it's been 4 months since I've been in a bar, and I'm just like, where are the clacks? I miss the clacks.
Well, you know, I have my fans at the house, so I just put that clack.
Oh,
clack.
Havoc absolutely hates the clacking.
Right.
And I don't clack fans in the house because I don't actively try to be a dick to my dog. But what I do that he doesn't like, but it gives me so much pleasure, is he hates air being blown at him. So I open up a fan and then I just start waving it at him, and the air just rushes to him, and he then like jumps up and tries to bite the air. So I mean, it's
Does it have like a English bulldog?
yes, yep.
Yeah. Dan wants to get a dog. He wants to either an English bulldog, a French something terrier thing.
If I will say this, I love English bulldogs in general.
Right.
But one of the biggest things that my ex did when he looked for dogs for me was he knew my love for English bulldogs, but he had talked to a friend who has a Victorian bulldog, and he came to find out about Old English bulldogs who they're bred with other breeds mixed into the line to get them back closer to what they used to be. Because if you look at old like Victorian era bulldogs, they're called bulldogs for a reason. They literally were work dogs that were sent out to herd and take down bull if needed. Like those little dogs would clamp onto a bull's leg and take it down.
Really?
Yeah. So those big fat little like pudgy things with the smushy face and the underbites, yeah, those used to be like some ferocious dogs. So Havoc, and I mean you've seen Havoc, so you know that he's taller and he's leaner, much leaner than any other bulldog that you normally see, although just as gassy as I'm talking about him. But they have better longevity. They have less health issues, so it's something to think about. Oh, yep. See, Michelle chiming in. She knows. Longer snout, great jaw strength, and endurance. So that's what bulldogs used to be, and I mean they still have the jaw strength, but the Old English bulldogs are getting back towards that healthier breed of dog. So, and then I just found out about shorty bulldogs or shorty bulls, or they're like miniature versions of bulldogs. So, so if you imagine an English bulldog and a French bulldog mixed, like merged into one, that's apparently a shorty bulldog.
Yes.
There's the shooting star logo for you, Andy. The more you know.
The more. Tyson Langford says, just worry about you guys every day, but I do understand you need to work. Thank you for worrying about us. You know, this is going to sound really douchey of me, but if anybody knows, I just speak, right? Okay, you know, like if it comes out of my mouth, 9 times out of 10, I've either meant what I'm saying or I'm just being just a bitch,
or both,
or both. Here's my thought process on it. People that are going back to work, or they're going back out into the nightlife, or they're going back to the restaurants or to the grocery store or whatever. If you are not taking the precautions and you wind up catching this virus, it's your own damn fault. And if you drop dead, I'll make sure I send at least one dandelion. If you are not taking the precautions, this is your fault. So, and this sounds harsh, and I'm not a cold-blooded person, but I'm at that point now that I keep seeing everybody be like, boo-hoo, woo-hoo, 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 woo. But hey, girl, hey. You can hey, girl, hey with this. Because you can hear me perfectly fine, hey, girl, hey. Okay? Mm-hmm. So if you get it, and you haven't used the precautions, and using your precaution one time is not going to do the trick. You got to do it in and out. If you have left your house, basically, if you have left your house, you are at risk.
And
if anybody has entered your house, you are at risk.
Yep.
I have a hoe that lives up in my house until next Wednesday. Then he moves out, John Porco. Yeah. You know, am I preaching this? Exactly. You know, but like I put the fear of God into him, and like that man. That man has hardly left the house except for the past couple of weeks to look for a place to live, which I think he found. I mean, I hope he found. If not, he's still going to be on the to the left, all your boxes to the left, to the left. But you know, I put the fear of God into that because you know, and I don't mean this dicky, but he is up in age. He's 53. Not saying that that's old, but he is 53 years old. You know, he does have slight health issues. I'm 41. I'm an ex-smoker. I mostly vape now, but you know, still whatever. Everybody has their vice. Everybody got their something.
Come on, Nika Costa.
Come on, you taught me that song. She's on my playlist. But you know, and I sit there and I'm like, if I am around anybody besides myself, I'm not right, including my boyfriend, including Dan. You know, he goes to work. Granted, he's working from home now, but you know, he leaves the house. And so when he comes back, I've put myself at risk. And so taking that into consideration into the beauty industry, into the salon environment, I have to take that thought process and apply it to my business. You know, and girl, every day, let me tell you, she comes in, she uses her handy dandy clipper side and sprays everything down. Then she wipes it up. She's got to refill it. She uses her barbicide, sprays everything down. And all of that has to sit for 5 to 10 minutes. And that is between every single client that process happens.
And that's what some people don't realize is that you can't just like spray something real quick and then just wipe it and like everything is Jim Dandy, fine and done. I mean, that's not how these things work. Like you need to let these cleaners and whatnot really permeate and be able to break down the particles, and then you can wipe them away. Otherwise, you could just go put some water on there and then swish it around, and
you're just wasting your product.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, let's break this out. It takes 20 seconds to wash your hands, they're saying, and that's not actually killing the virus. All that's doing is breaking down the protein bond so that it stops attaching to your skin, so that the suds and the hot water take it down the drain. The friction is what creates that, and the friction is what makes that happen. It's not the soap. So when you're disinfecting and sanitizing, you actually have to let the product work to break it down, and then you wipe it away. And because there's no friction in the wiping, or you know, while it's breaking down, because if there's friction, then you're wiping it away. It has to sit there because it has to break through everything. Yep. You know, it has to break through a condom. It has to break through the virus's condom, basically. Boom.
Yeah, and Joe is saying that they're required to let their rooms marinate in disinfectants for the massage as well. Again, another profession that you are so, like we were talking about before, so close. And I'm pretty sure you know. And so when you're talking about, I'm a massage therapist also. Haven't done anything with it in forever. I went to school for 2 full years in New York. No, listen, like 2 years. I have a diploma from that school. I got my diploma from the school. I got an associate's degree. Like It's crazy the amount of stuff that went into learning that. And I mean, you are so having to be so interactive. And I mean, right now I would kill to just be able to touch somebody, to put my hand on their shoulder, to hug somebody. Like we're all going through this, and we know that it's crazy. And kind of I forget who had said it before. It might have been Tyson, talking about being worried and, you know, knowing that people have to work. This has been my biggest thing about it. And it'll touch on a little bit. I'm going to touch on my point, and then I'm also going to touch on your point. The biggest issue is our government hasn't taken care of its people, because there should never have been a point during a global pandemic that anybody should have had to worry about being evicted, not being able to get a test to see if they have this virus, that at this point has killed over 120,000 Americans.
Yeah.
And that's just America. That's just the U.S., not even America. That's North America.
God bless America.
America, fuck yeah. But there should never have been that. We should never, like, they should, for them to throw a $1,200 stimulus check that not everybody got, and now reports are coming out that $1.4 billion of that money went to dead people.
So, really quick on that, a client of mine's father passed away, and she got his check in the mail. And she called and said, my father's been dead for 2 years. What do I do with this? They're like, it's yours. She's like, what? So what she did was she actually took that money. She went and she was able to cash it or deposit it, whatever. She was like, they're like, it's yours. They're like, just sign it and it's fine.
But how do, okay, that's a whole different
subject. I don't know.
Because that goes into banks and how the hell they let that go through. But but yeah.
Every place that she went to, she went to a restaurant, she tipped the waiter $100. She went to the grocery store, she gave a person $100 tip. Like, she didn't keep it, she actually took it and passed it on.
That gives me a bit of hope for humanity in general.
Correct.
And Lou is popping in with the current total right now is 126,202 United States citizens are dead from this virus, and yet they feel just tossing out $1,200 and doing, what has it been, like 12 weeks, 16 weeks of an additional $600 on the unemployment, which Florida, we see you with that unemployment site, girl. We see you.
Listen, I was denied, I never applied for unemployment. I was denied for the SBA loan because I'm an S Corp and not a C Corp. So because I pull a dividend, I don't pull a wage, I was denied. Like, literally, I was on a 2-week run for these people, like getting all the documentation, got this, got that, got this, got that, got that. And then the guy calls me and he's like, I am so sorry to tell you this. He's like, but you're denied. I'm like, for why? I'm like, I was closed from April 1st until May 15th. He's like, you're an S Corp. You're not a C Corp. So you don't pull wages. I'm like, I said, wait a minute. I said, so if my accountant switched me over to a C Corp for future, if God forbid this happens, like, should I do it? He's like, I'm not a CPA, so I can't tell you. He's like, but it's tax reasons of why they have you set up as an S Corp and not a C Corp, and you're a one-man show. Because I'm an LLC, I'm insured. Like, Mama's legit. She is legit. Because if I do burn you or kill you, I don't want you coming from my house. I just want you coming from what's in my bank account and my business bank account. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
I got the $1 million insurance liability. Like, I got that, okay? And like, I was like, well, what are people like supposed to do? Mom and pops that, especially in the restaurant industry, what are they supposed to do? Like, they're barely making it as it is, and they're denied because they're not pulling a wage, they're taking a payout. That's some bullshit. But if I was agriculture, if I had some chickens in my house,
not just chicken heads.
Right, not just because apparently these days I am a chicken. What is it? A chicken hawk? Because my boo, he's 8 years younger than me. I've always had the older, but now I got the younger.
But no, and then they put out the PPP, the payroll protection program, and that went like that. And you have places like you have Ruth Chris Steakhouse and Four Rivers banking, $10 million a piece. They eventually gave it back, thankfully, through pressure from the people out there that need it. But you're absolutely right. But this never should have been a thing. You should never have to worry about having to go back to work in a time like this and put yourself at risk and go through all of these extra things and the fact that you have to sit there and enforce these rules because people aren't willing to follow them.
Right.
But on top of that, the fact that people are having to go back to work because they're not business owners, because they are servers, because they are staff at a company that a state like Florida is just swinging their doors wide open, or at least, phase 2, and they're like, you know what? Why not come in and fill this building up to half capacity? What could go wrong? We're seeing what can go wrong.
We're seeing what could go wrong. We're seeing what could go wrong.
Absolutely. But the fact that these people now have to make a choice because they can't be on unemployment because their business, their job isn't closed. So they have to decide whether or not they can make money, some money, and risk their health, or stay home and protect their health and worry about whether or not they're going to have money for food. And yeah, we assume risk no matter what. When we go out, we constantly assume risk. And that's just life. That's why we have seatbelts. That's why we, put shoelaces on. That's why there's banisters on stairs. There are things out there that could kill us. That's why we have insurance. That's why we take driver's exams and all these things. So it's not just that. I'm sorry, this is closed. I gotta go by. She's sending me the Rona through the camera, and I don't like it. But the fact that people are taking, like, having to do the tiniest bit of precaution to help slow the spread and care about other people, the fact that they're going out there and not wearing masks and not doing all this stuff and not following CDC and WHO regulations, and then they go to a restaurant and that person who doesn't have the ability to just stay home, because that's the biggest thing. It's like, oh, well, if you're worried about it, then just stay home. I would like to be able to feed myself and my family.
Exactly.
And honestly, like, it comes down to, you have to take some chances, or we're being put into a position where you have to take those chances, and you don't have that opportunity. So,
well, and that's how come, like, one of the things, like, being a small business owner and being a one-man show, like, during all of this, when I needed, like, masks, I reached out to Horace Adonis and also my friend Stylist, who one's in New York and one's in Orlando, that they were making masks because they were both out of jobs. I'm like, I'm going to support you. I'm not going to go and order from, Amazon.com. I'm going to support you. When I got back into work and I saved up more money, I went to Carmen Cavalli and I bought 2 wigs off of her, because I want to give to my community, to my people, because I was blessed to actually have several clients literally mail me a check during quarantine. They were like, you're not working. I have this. This is for you. And I literally cried. And then, like, the first round, like, I mean, I'm starting to see people on the second time. Like, I've had people, I would say almost 80% of my clients have paid me double. And I'm like, no. They're like, yes. And I'm like, no, I can't. I'm sorry, I can't. And, a lot of them do credit cards. And I'm like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to swipe your credit card. You put in the amount. Here's your total that you're supposed to be. You put in what you want. Sign. And I'm not looking, because I can't. Like, I just couldn't. I guess it's being proud and being just, the thick-headed New Yorker Italian that I am, that I'm like, I don't want you taking pity on me because I'm a strong woman and I got this, But it was just the fact that they did that, said so many words. And that is one thing within the community, is we need to make sure that we are taking care of each other. And taking care of each other is not just supporting your local businesses, but it's also supporting the health choices of the people that are also supporting those local businesses.
Absolutely.
I want to get back to the dance floor. I want to get back to the stage. I want to be able, I want to be able to have the National Bearded Artist pageant. I want Bear Bus to happen. I want Gay Days to happen. I want all of these things to happen. But if everybody keeps with their fuckeries, we're not going to be able to. And I was telling Blue the other day, we were messaging, and I was telling Blue the other day, I was like, I want to seriously start walking down the street, and people that aren't wearing masks, I want to have a squirt bottle like a cat and be like, psst, and just start squirting them.
That would be hysterical. I would need you to have Dan like follow you while filming, just so I could see the people's reactions to that. Because
wouldn't it be fantastic? Just walk out and they'll have a map. But seriously, I had a lot of people. Luckily within the beauty industry, we wind up creating relationships. You, like I said, I know about births, deaths, marriages, divorces, cheating, who's got whose baby is this? I could write a book and it would be a bestseller. Okay. You create these bonds, and the fact that they were like, you need me, even though you're not saying it, I'm still here for you, meant a lot. And my payback for them is doing the safety precautions I'm doing in here. Nobody is allowed in my chair unless they've gone through my questions. Nobody is allowed in my chair with another person in here. If it's a husband and wife, if I'm doing the wife's color and the husband's haircut, you live in the same household. And that's the thing. If you live in the same household, you can come in here, but you cannot go and sit in the waiting area. That's my area to get away from you. No, that's my area to take my mask off to go breathe. You know what I mean? And so, putting my air filtration system in here, getting my certifications for, how to protect within my salon, how to protect myself and my clients. That's what I'm doing as payback to them for them giving me assistance when I need it. And I never even asked.
Yeah.
So the one thing that I have to say as just a human being is that we are not entitled to anything. Zero. Nothing. There are two things that are guaranteed to happen. We live and we die. Everything in between is what matters. So I've said it before, if you believe in something enough to stand up for it, believe in it enough to stand up for it and to continue standing up for it. If you believe enough for the prosper of this country and the prosper of our community and our people to get back to a normal life, start doing what you have to do to contribute and stop being selfish. Because I sure as hell am not going to cut your hair in your casket. Just saying.
I had to go back to Tyson's comment and put it back up on the screen because take me to church. So it's funny because my whole thought process with this was going to be like, let's talk about how you got into hair. Let's talk about this. Let's do this. And we've just it's turned into a whole different conversation. Like I knew we were, I'm glad. And I knew we were going to get to the barber side of the COVID-19 training and all these things. Like I knew we were going to get there, but obviously that's something that is so prevalent right now that I'm glad that that's been the major focus of what we've talked about, because it is great to see people like you and taking these precautions. I worry a little bit more about the bigger chain places. And
so they do have a lot of restrictions for the chains. They are not allowed to have any waiting areas. They are not allowed to take walk-ins.
That's good.
It is only appointment only. They also, the sass and the science, that's right. Well, girl, that's my talk show. But they have
what am I going on that one? I'm just saying.
Girl, I can get you on there. I can go on there.
Find a topic. Find a topic. What's that?
We're talking about cleaning out the pipes.
I'll be on another one. I don't want to turn red in the face for the entire show talking. We'll find a good topic for me to sit in on.
But like they have to have 2 chairs in between each stylist. A lot of them are actually putting partitions between the chairs.
Come on, Beyonce. Put the partition up.
Partition up. And then they're putting like the partitions, and they're also doing alternate schedules. You know, bigger salons are a little bit more not risky because if they're taking the sanitation process, it's just you're have more exposure to people.
Yeah.
You know,
no, and that's 100% what I mean when I say I worry more about like one of my girl, and only because I've known her longer than I've known you, who when I was in Florida up until my last haircut, works at Floyd's 99, and I love Floyd's, absolutely adore them. But even with all the precautions, there's much more chance to be near and around people. And then you have a story out of, I believe it was bye Tyson. Thanks for stopping by and giving us great comments. There was a story, I think it was Missouri, I'm not sure, don't quote me on that, but there was 140 cases were linked back to a salon and 2 stylists. And it comes down to, like, the way that it was phrased was that, you know, because of these 2 stylists, there's 140 new cases, and all it takes is somebody who lies about their symptoms or are just asymptomatic. You know, it's a very weird tightrope, and this goes back to feeling like everything just opened too quickly, and there isn't enough trusting of the science. They're making a virus like this that doesn't care who the fuck you are, a partisan issue, you know. And who was it just before? One of our commenters, Walter Rivera, said that he works in a dental office and he still feels that the doors opened too quickly. And, you know, it's very much, and it's the people that have to go back to work and have to deal with it. I do want to point out that I did put the phone number for Anthony Lewis Salon. So if you,
I'm literally in the middle of nowhere. I'm in the central Florida. I'm close to the woods.
Nope.
You know,
well, because if a bear's
woods, yes, I do. What
is that? Why you got to clean out the pipes? You've been in the woods too much,
girl. Listen, everything that I baked during this quarantine, honey, she got backed up during the quarantine.
She's gonna use a pine cone as a pipe cleaner. That's not peanut butter on that pine cone.
It's not. But I gained so much weight, I basically turned into a bottom from this. That's a whole other subject. Right?
So let's do, because we're coming up close to an hour, so I don't want to hold you for too long. I know this is your late day at the salon. You're actually coming to us live from Anthony Lewis Salon.
I am.
And although Anthony and I were talking about this before, and he's not great with the social medias for the salon. But if you are interested, just follow Anthony Lewis Salon on Facebook and Instagram. It's scrolling at the bottom right now. And then, you know, post stuff and make comments and send messages if you want to make him use those pages more often. So we do want to plug Monday nights. You do Sass and Science. You had started that with Eric Suarez of crewhealth.org.
So the past couple of weeks, it's mostly been me because Eric is extremely busy in the clinic right now with it back open. So it's mostly, I'm playing both Sass and Science. So I have to be sassy and smart.
Oh, I don't know how I feel about this.
Last week's episode was fun. We had James O-Town Kingstra there. We got Kink.
I saw Jim on here. I saw Jim as I was scrolling through. Yes. Oh, girl, I love her. I've known her for years. There, but it was just so funny watching and then seeing his little the little name panel, and it's like, James O-Town Kingstra, and it just makes me giggle every time I see it. But yeah, so Sass and Science, that's 7 p.m. on Mondays, correct?
7 p.m. Eastern.
7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. Listen, I'm moving into the Central time zone. Trust me, I'm constantly dealing with it. So check that out. Check out Anthony as Beyoncé, the National Miss Bearded Empress pageant, which hopefully will be coming in October. She's the She is the Miss National Bearded Empress Emeritus Pensée.
Correct.
Accent on the E. Come on. Just like Beyonce. Little accent on the last E. So go check them out. Support them. Hopefully it'll be this October, the pageant. Everything is up in the air. Trust me, it's been so tough because Bear Bus is supposed to happen. It's our 30th anniversary. It's supposed to be like this great fucking event of just like celebrating 30 years of this and just having so much fun. And I'm at such a standstill because I am doing little bits and pieces. You know, I've talked to DJs. I've talked to a couple of people. Like I have some stuff out there. Our main drag performer I have a contract and it's just sitting there and it's waiting because at this point, I mean, we're probably going to have to revise it because now that a COVID world is what we're... Girl, calm down. You know you coming back. You bitch. Listen, I don't need to talk to you, nor Gidget, nor Chantel. I just got to let y'all know when to be there. And we set. Honestly, all, the three of you, KK, Asia, every single drag entertainer that I had last year is welcome back at any point in time. Anything that I do, you all were amazing. You know, you wouldn't be a Pensée if you didn't know it.
Exactly.
I don't know how that really correlates, but your voice and you just say it out loud enough. I don't know. But y'all were amazing. And honestly, I had currently the Bear Bus website is down. So if you're watching this and you're wondering, because I had somebody message me that we're not connected on Facebook, and he messaged my page directly and was like, hey, I just wanted to ask if, you know, everything is still being planned because the website is down. I was like, you know, I'm going to check into this. I'm still working on that. And Parliament House owns the event and the website. So with them being shut down and running on a skeleton crew, for the most part, things kind of go to the wayside, which, I mean, honestly, the Bear Bus website has not been the biggest thing that they've needed to worry about. And I don't blame it. But I put that out there to everybody. I'm still working on it. We're still looking at having it. It all depends on what goes on with this virus. So if you want to come to Bear Bus and you want it to be a fun time, wear a fucking mask, follow guidelines, don't be going to the bar with 20 of your closest friends. You better spray that mist, bitch.
Oh, I just broke my bottle.
But follow the safety precautions. So just fucking do it.
You know, if I can literally, and I don't mean to cut you off, if I can literally sit there. Oh, thanks, Beth Wheatley. Thank you.
I had to put that up there, you know.
Andy Ray says October is my birthday month. A crown would make a great 30th birthday present. Joe Troller says I have to judge Bear Bus, which I agree, I do. Michelle says pageant is postponed until further notice. No date set as of yet. Please stay tuned. Which you could go to the nationalbeardedempress.com and you could actually stay tuned on that page as well. And Annie says, I'm willing to wait. Gotta work some more things. Annie, me and you, we can chit chat. Just send me a message. But, you know, here's the thing is I am in the salon anywhere from literally 8 to 12 hours a day. Okay. And I have a client starting in the morning right until the evening with a 30-minute lunch. That's it. Unless they are processing with color, I have my mask on. I am a 308-pound, 5'11", 41-year-old man with low testosterone that has to take testosterone shots to keep it up. So I go through menopause basically every other week. If I can sweat blow drying and standing and doing my client's hair, You can sweat to go out and see your sis at the club. If I can sit and provide these extra things for my clients, cleanliness, sanitization, disinfecting, you could do the same thing in your house because it's called hygiene. Boom, done.
You know, that's right. And she has left the building. And I mean, since you had 3 months off, I mean, no drag performer should be coming out in their same old costumes. They should have a brand new wardrobe.
Don't make me get on you. Don't make me fucking get on you. Bitch, I already got called ugly for that. I already got called ugly for that by one person because I came for that post.
Did you name names?
Huh?
Did you name names?
No, I didn't say names in the video because she entered the room and tried showing some foolery. But I didn't say no names. No, not one name, because the person that even came for me wasn't even the bitch I was talking about. Okay? But then she wanted to come at me. And I was like, oh, you came for the wrong bitch.
Mm-hmm.
That's another show. That's another show.
Mm-hmm. We're going to have to talk and compare names because I've got one name. When I saw you post your post, it was shortly after I saw someone post that exact thing. So it might be the same person. It may not be the same person.
I'm sure that was the same. I'm sure that was the same person, but the other person that came for me was not that person. Hey, Joey. How are you guys doing? He says. We're doing fantastic. You're coming in at the end of the show. So now you're just going to rewind.
Well, once this ends, just give it a couple of minutes, and then you can go back to the beginning and watch the whole hour.
Exactly.
Start from the beginning. Just grab a cocktail. I was gonna pour myself a drink too. I was like, I should do this, but I haven't eaten since breakfast, so I was like, not now, not now.
Not today, not right now. Just give me about another 10 minutes, and she'll have a cocktail in her hand. I have my water because I make sure I stay hydrated. And that is another thing with your mask. Make sure that you do stay hydrated because they do make you sweat more. So also being hydrated also gives you immunity to have resistance from catching not even just this virus, the common cold.
Absolutely. And
so, everybody's coming in now. Ladrika and William says, hey,
Pop. That's my Lala. What's up, Lala? Oh my God, Ladrika and I go back to Stephen Barry's back on Long Island, like years ago. Oh my God, it's been so long. Lala, I love it. Hi. And one of the good things that you can do if you are of the male presenting persuasion and you have follicles that you like to keep on your face, put a lovely scented beard oil like this delicious spiced vanilla and bourbon that I got from Fable Beard Co. I'm acting like their sponsor and they're going to send me money for this. But I will say, okay, so normally I go through gay-owned and operated beard companies because I want to support the LGBT community. I want to support small businesses. This is a small business as well, but there are some others that I usually spend my money on. But since we've been in lockdown, since we've been doing all of this, and I've been up in Chicago, for some reason I have been hankering. Yeah, you can tell how old I am when I'm using hankering.
She's hankered for her britches. I
got a hankering for cotton candy. Don't ask why. I'm not usually a big sugar person, and the only time I ever have cotton candy is when I go to like the Central Florida Fair or whatever.
All right.
So I'm scrolling through Facebook, and there is an ad for Fable Beard Co. And their Father's Day like promotion had two dads with a son. One had the son on his shoulders, and it was like, okay, cotton candy brandy made for kids by kids. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. So, but the scent, their limited edition scent for Father's Day was cotton candy and love. The love is apparently funnel cakes, And I was like, I want my face to smell like a carnival. So I went to their website, and it has a little pop up and like spin the wheel for for a chance at a discount, and I got buy one get one free. So I ordered the cotton candy and love and the spiced vanilla and bourbon. But the fun part is that normally you don't use so much that you smell it,
right?
Because if you are, you're doing it wrong.
Well, but, and then you're like me one time when I was at Ember and I'd put too much beard balm and literally a glop went.
That sounds like when I've done glitter beards and I put too much glue and I put the glitter on and it doesn't dry, so all of a sudden it just starts like raining glittery glue.
Yes.
Woo.
Yes.
Too much.
One beard company you should check out.
Oh, which one?
I love them, and they're also a sponsor for National Bearded Empress. But not just because they're a sponsor for National Bearded Empress, but like literally their products are amazing. Is Beard Crack.
I want to check them out.
Travis Roman, I get the leather scent, and I get Dan the Lumberjack, and then I've had the Daddy Bear. They're all natural in the sense of, I asked him, I said, why do you say they're all natural? He's like, because every single ingredient that is in there is food grade. And I was like, why did you invest into doing it like that? He's like, because if you're putting it near your mouth, why would you want something that you can't eat? Shut it down.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, he's got washes, conditioners, oils, balms, a moisturizer, a toner. He's coming out with a couple of other things too. His products are actually phenomenal. Butter, bitch. I have my barber use it, and he's like, "This is amazing. I've never had anything like this." So, yeah.
I'm gonna have to check them out. Give me the name one more time.
Beard Crack, like beard crack, like crack pipe.
I don't know what you're doing, sir.
I don't know crack, but I've just seen it on TV.
Wait, I worked at the Parliament House. I've heard of this stuff before. Oh, NYX glitter glue. All right, come on, mixed Smoky Bear.
Okay,
we'll have to check that out. And yeah, and of course, as soon as I mentioned glitter, Joe's right there.
Has to pop on.
And I've heard of the crack before, and not the good kind that you like to bury your face in every so often.
I'm doing that tomorrow night because I'll be down at Daniel's house.
Yas.
That's our kiss hellos. I missed you.
Ridiculous. You are ridiculous. So is there okay, so let's go through. I'm gonna let you go, but yes. As a quick roundup of everything, Anthony Lewis Salon, the address is right there on your screen now. It's in Leesburg.
441 South Suite 315, Leesburg, Florida, 34788.
There you go. And if you would like to call and make an appointment with Anthony, then 973-7913. Please leave your name, message, and what service you are looking for, and I will return your phone call. If it is before 2 o'clock, if it is after 2 o'clock, I will return your phone call the next business day. If it's before 2 o'clock or it's after 2 o'clock, you'll return the business.
I'll return your phone call if it's before 2 o'clock. If it's after 2 o'clock, I'll return it the next day.
If it's before 2 o'clock or if it's after 2 o'clock, I will return your phone call tomorrow.
If you call, leave a message, and I get back to you, you're lucky.
And you can also follow on Facebook and Instagram, Anthony Lewis Salon. You could check out Joe Troller. You can become a friend of Joe Troller's and go back and scroll through his photos and see his work right there. Thank you, Lou. So Profesh, love you, Anthony. There's a little love from Andy Reyes. It's been fantastic getting to catch up with you. It's been so weird that I've been up here for just about 3 months now, and with the world being the way that it is, it's like I almost wish I could have stayed longer, and been closer to people that I know and that I care about so much. My lease was not going to allow that, and I was not paying this rent for an empty apartment. Right. So I'm glad to be up here, but at the same time, I miss being there. I miss being able to see people, but I also really wouldn't be able to get to see people if I was down there. So,
just like I said about coming out of quarantine with your hair, you now have a chance to change what you look like in your hair. When you are out of quarantine in Chicago, honey, you get to show the world the path to Chicago.
And show them these collarbones because I'm a model now.
Model. Collarbones are ass because that's nothing. That is one thing you will never leave, or it'll never go away. You'll never lose it.
If I thought that I could stand up on this bar stool, because I have a pub, I have a pub table as my dining table, and that's what my desk is right now. So I'm sitting on the bar stool because my computer chair is too low. If I thought I could stand up and get my ass in the shot, I would totally do it.
Yeah.
But I don't want to fall.
Girl, listen. Since day one, you have always had an ass, I've noticed. I'm like, that's my Puerto Rican side.
That is. It's followed me around my entire life.
So.
Well, thank you, Anthony. Thank you for everybody that's been watching, that's popped in and out, just like many men have done to Anthony in the past.
No, she got him. Ish. Ish.
Thank you all. Thank you, Anthony, for spending this time with me tonight.
Thank you.
Go and support Anthony. Follow on social media. If you are not in the area, recommend. Tell people about him. If you want to support on the drag side of things, Anthony is also Bearance Bear, your National Miss Bearded Empress Emeritus Pensée. Go to, is it nationalbeardedempress.com?
Yes.
Go to nationalbeardedempress.com. Stay tuned. More details once things settle down. Hopefully in the not too distant future. There will hopefully be some more.
The next category we'll add a category of mask realness.
Did you watch the Miss Comedy Queen Quarantine Queen special?
I did.
First off, bravo, Addie and Locke for putting together a pageant that start to finish an hour.
Yes.
But those queens, they rocked it. They did a lot of amazing things with their house or their car or whatever. So it wouldn't be surprising. And I'm sure that there's queens out there like Mix Smokey Bear. I think because with the X, right? It's Mix.
Yeah.
Okay. Just want to make sure. I'm getting close to 40. I'm an old man in the gay world. So the times they are changing for the better. And I just want to make sure that I'm saying things right and I'm doing it proper. So, so I know that they've got what it takes. So check them out. Send virtual tips when you can. Don't be going to the club and one, crowding up on people, and two, trying to give cash tips to these queens. Find a Venmo, find a Cash App, find something that you can send it digitally. I've been for the last 2.5 weeks working on a renaming project for Barioki to make sure that everything is searchable properly and it's easy and everything is there. And one of the biggest things that I've put on the precautions poster that the guys are using is download Venmo, download Cash App, and get their handles and tip virtually. They'll take cash, but I mean, you're gonna see them wiping it down with some Lysol wipes, so don't be upset about it. I mean, money's dirty regardless.
Exactly.
In this world, it's even worse. But do that, and then just please follow precautions. You stay safe, Anthony. Everything that you've talked about today, I know you are, and keep on doing it and keep on staying safe. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back next Thursday.
Plug one thing really quick.
Yes. Oh yeah. Go.
July 10th, I believe, is a Friday. Hold, please. I'm sorry. July 10th if you will tune into myself or Daphne Ferraro, I will be on cast with her again. If you did not see my performance from the last week, make sure you scroll down, look at my videos, and I'm in a sling. Let's just say that. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, thank you, Pat, for having me on here.
Absolutely.
And chatting with me. I'm glad that you're doing well and staying safe up there as well. And everybody out there, just remember, wash your hands, wear a mask, don't touch your face. If you're going to suck a dick, do it through a glory hole.
Which, real quick, the state of New York has put out recommendations, and they are recommending the glory holes come back. So,
and make sure you wash your dick before you go put it in somebody else's mouth.
And I mean, honestly, if you want to be really, really cautious about it, take some wipes with you, and then just give it another once over before you put it in your mouth.
Exactly.
Nothing wrong with being a little extra cautious.
These wipes that are like peppermint minty things that you can wipe on there and cleanse it. Bitch, you are like Dentine Fresh ready.
Just don't drink orange juice afterwards. You'll be fine. All right. Thank you. We'll see y'all next time. Bye.
Bye.